Chicago shouldn't exist. If you looked at this spot 200 years ago, you wouldn't see a metropolis. You would see a swamp. It was smelly, full of disease, and literally sinking into the mud. Even the name Chicago comes from a Native American word meaning wild garlic or smelly onion. So how did this muddy death trap become the architectural capital of the world? What turned this muddy shore into a trading powerhouse? The Illinois and Michigan Canal, and the boats and warehouses that followed. Suddenly, Chicago was the shortcut between the Great Lakes and the Mississippi. And everything changed. But the canal was just the warm-up. The real explosion happened with the railroad. By the 1850s, Chicago became the busiest rail hub on Earth. Grain from the west, lumber from the north, cattle from the south, everything had to pass through Chicago. The city became America's warehouse. It was loud, dirty, and getting rich faster than any city in history. But Chicago had a fatal flaw. It was built almost entirely of wood. Even the sidewalks were wood. In October 1871, disaster struck. Legend says Ms. O'Leary's cow kicked over a lantern. That story is a fake. A journalist admitted he made it up. But the fire was real. It burned for 2 days, destroying 17,000 buildings. The city was erased. Most cities would have died. Chicago saw an opportunity. The debris was pushed into the lake to create new land. And since there was no space left on the ground, architects decided to do something impossible: build up. Using a new steel frame technology, they built the home insurance building. Widely considered the world's first skyscraper, Chicago didn't just rebuild. It invented the modern skyline. But Chicago had one last problem. The sewage was flowing into Lake Michigan, their source of drinking water. So, in 1900, engineers did something crazy. They reversed the flow of the Chicago River. They dug a massive canal deeper than the river itself, forcing the water to flow away from the lake and towards the Mississippi. They literally fought nature and won. From a garlic-smelling swamp to the city of broad shoulders, Chicago proves that with enough steel, railroads, and sheer willpower, you can build a metropolis anywhere. This was Urban Roots. Subscribe to see how Los Angeles stole its water to survive in the desert.